All right, number 11. You're evaluating when n equals 9. So you're plugging 9 in. So these are absolute value, not parentheses. So 9 minus 6 is 3. 2 minus 9 is negative 7. And then these absolute value symbols mean once you find a number inside, it switches it to positive. So 3 positive is 3. Negative 7 positive is 7. So I get 3 minus 7, which is negative 4. For number 12, they're seeing if you understand square root properties. So they're telling you to distribute. Well, 9 times root 10. This is not under a square root. This is under a square root. So when they're outside and inside, you cannot put them together. So they kind of just get mashed like that. You can't do, it's not 90 because the 9's on the outside. When you do 10 and 5, 5 and 10 are both on the inside. So when they're both on the inside, you can put them together. So you can't put outside with the outside with the inside ones, but you can put both the inside ones together. So immediately, I know B and C are out because I need 9 root 10. And then they simplify root 50. So root 50 simplified is 5 root 2, which is A. Number 13, for A, property rules. You learn these. You multiply when it's power to power. So 6 times 2 is 12. 7 times 2 is 14. And then these two, they want you to break them down. So I will do the factor tree since a lot of you like the factor tree. So 72 is divisible by 9 and 8. And then 9 can be 3 and 3. They're both prime. 8 can be 4 and 2. 2 is prime. And then 4 can be 2 and 2. The pairs go on the outside. So I have a pair of 3s. That's on the outside. I have a pair of 2s. And then I have one little 2 that's left underneath. So I get 6 root 2 for 72. Then for 32, I would get 16 times 2. 4 times 4. 2 times 2. 2 times 2. So I get a pair and a pair. So I get 2 times 2. So 4 root 2. And then when they have the same root, you can subtract them. So 6 minus 4 is 2. So 2 root 2 is your final answer. For 14, go ahead and read it. Pause it and read. So basically, for each computer, 303 plus 231 plus 42 is how much it costs to make it. This is how much they're selling it all for. 427 people are buying it. So 1,246.25 times 427. That's going to give you how much they're making. So if they sell this many at this price, they're making 532,148. 532,148. And then to make it, you would do 303 plus 231 plus 42 and then multiply by 427. So like how much, add these all together, multiply by 427, then subtract. So this is how much they make, this is how much it cost, and you should get around 280,000. All right, for 15, what does the value of Q need to be? So they want to know what Q needs to be to go from here to here. So if you notice in the answer, there's only an x squared, and in the question, there's an x to the fourth. So that means my x to my fourths must go away if they're not in the final answer. So you're trying to figure out what does this Q need to be to get this to go away? Well, x squared times x squared is x to the fourth, but I need this Q to be a negative 7 so that it cancels with this positive 7. So in the question, there's a fourth. In the answer, there's not. So for this to get canceled, this needs to be negative 7 so that it cancels with the 7. For 16, you are foiling. So 4x squared times 5x is 20x cubed. 4x squared times 5 is 20x squared. Negative 3x times 5x is negative 15x squared. Negative 3x times 5 is negative 15x. Negative 5x, negative 5. Then put your like terms together. You should get A. 17, they want you to factor. Always, always, always check for a GCF to start. So GCF of 3. And then now I have the difference of squares. So remember, for the difference of squares, it's the square root of the front, square root of the back, with a minus and a plus. So you get D. For number 18, you are subtracting like terms. So the easiest way to do this is if you're subtracting, distribute the negative so it doesn't confuse you. So this is really a plus 7x to the fourth, minus 4x cubed, minus 8x squared, plus 5x, plus 10. So this negative, I distribute it to everything. And now you can just put like terms together. So 4 plus 7 gives me 11. So I immediately know it's not A and B. Negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. So then immediately you can circle that because this one doesn't have a negative 5. 19. He charges $10 per lesson and charges $45 no matter what. So if they ever say per, that's the one that goes with the variable. So I know that it's $10 per lesson. So I know it's 10x. So I know it's not C and D because they don't have an X. And then they tell you it's a fixed rate of 45 to show up to your house. So you would add that to per lesson. Like if he showed up and then you would add the money. So I would want 10x plus the 45 that he charges to come. When you get a solution, solutions are points. Points, points, points. 21 and 22, very, very similar. If it's set up like this and they want you to solve, they're both set equal to y already, so basically you can just set them equal to each other. So you would want to set them equal to each other and then solve for x. So if I set them equal to each other and then solve for x, I get positive 2. For 22, they want to know which point is a solution. All you do is you plug in the points for x and y. So x is your first, y is your second, and figure out which one works for both equations. So I'd plug 10 in for x, negative 3 in for y, and you're trying to figure out which one works. So when you do that, you actually get this one to work, B. 23, set it up and solve. You should get A. Yeah. It's about to run out.